and ran towards the truck.
Storytime Flix, created by Stanley.
Meanwhile, on the Gray District Agency, Chris received several phone calls about an unidentified creature in the city. I asked Chris for the details of the case. Chris said around 11:45 p.m. Monday, a creature was spotted downtown. It's about 15 feet tall. Its body is gray, with a wrinkled bald head, and wearing something that appears to look like a gas mask. It attacked a man and left him wounded in the streets. And several missing people reports were filed in the area. So we headed out to the location to investigate. It's 2:30 Tuesday morning. It looks like a ghost town. I went one direction, Tracie went another, and so did Chris. Tracie noticed an overturned mailbox. It has blood on it. So Tracie got a sample of the blood and went to our mobile lab to test it. While I was still looking around, I saw that the bus stop sign is lying on the ground. So I looked for some sort of clue to figure out what it is. As I looked closer, I saw a large amount of green mucus on the sign. So I also grabbed a sample of the green slime and went back to our mobile lab to test it. When I made it back into the lab, Tracie had just finished the test from the blood she had found earlier. She said the blood isn't the creature's blood, but it matches the person that was attacked. While I was testing the green slime, Chris was still out searching for the creature. Then he noticed something moving in the shadows between two buildings. He walked closer until he saw that the shadow looked super huge. And then it stepped into the light. Chris screamed and ran towards the truck. Back in the lab, he had told us what had happened, and then the alarm sounded, letting me know that the test had finished as Chris and I were heading out to see this creature. I asked Tracie to review the test. Chris and I walked over to where he had saw the beast. But it wasn't there. So Chris went in between the buildings to look for it. I stayed on the sidewalk. Chris came back and said he didn't see it. Then Tracie came over, and she said the test shows that the beast is a Tarlin, a supernatural being not from this world. Tracie said years ago, a giant spaceship the size of 2 football fields crashed in the Gulf of Mexico, and hundreds of them were on board. Several died, and others disappeared into the ocean, never seen until we saw one today. Did you hear that? The sound came from behind us, and we were too scared to look. At the count of 3, let's turn around. 1, 2, 3. We caught a glimpse of a Tarlin disappearing in between the buildings. I noticed the utility hole in the middle of the street was open, and it wasn't open before. Maybe it came out of the hole. The utility hole leads to an abandoned maintenance tunnel that runs under the entire city. Chris said he would go down the utility hole and look around. So Chris went down. He heard creepy sounds off in the distance. He looked around and noticed there's a dead end and something appears to be on the ground. So he walked closer and was stunned at what he saw and started shaking. There are human and animal bones on the ground. Then Chris looked in the other direction, and it's a long tunnel. No telling where it ends. Chris decided to get out of there fast, just in case it comes back, and add him to the human bone pile. We devised a plan to trap it. Since we know where it eats, we decided to close off the other end of the tunnel. So I put Chris in charge of that. Tracie and I planned to get the bait. Tracie told me she knows a place where she can get it. So she left, and I called our supervisor, Jason, to update him on the case. I told Jason once we trapped the Tarlin in the tunnel, we would need the removal team to come and retrieve it. Jason said.
Okay, I will have them on standby. You, Tracie, and Chris, stay safe. If things go wrong, get the heck out of there. Okay?
I said, okay, you could count on that. I see Tracie had made it back with the bait. It's a donkey. She had tied it up on the sidewalk near the manhole. And Chris called out to me.
Stanley!
I went to see what he wanted. I peeped down the hole. Chris had finished sealing the tunnel. I was amazed at the hard work Chris put into it, considering the amount of time he had. So we went around the corner to hide, and Tracie asked how would we keep it down there. And Chris said, yeah, how are we going to keep it down there? I told him it looks like when it goes down in the hole, it closes the utility hole with the cover. And that would be our chance to capture it with the magnetizer I found in the mobile lab. And I used it to magnetize the utility hole cover to hold it like it weighs a ton. I also connected a Bluetooth sensor to the cover, and it will alert me when the utility hole closes. So we went back to the lab to wait. The alert sounded. We ran to see if we had caught it. We heard it down in the tunnel eating. I don't think it knows it's trapped down there. We waited for it to finish eating before I called for the removal team to see if it can get out. Then it tries to get out. It appears to be working. Yes, it's working. I called a removal team in this area, and Tracie posted a sign warning people that this is a gray district. How about you? Do you live in a gray district?